Hey guys, Shanti Phillips here with a brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. Taking a go out today, see if things came out, see if things are on sale. Today though, the big releases, pretty much the only really big one which would be in stores, is The Invisible Man. Other than that though, I don't think there's really anything else big that will be in stores. I know there's a couple other smaller titles though that are coming out though. There's this one horror one that I'm going to be looking for in Walmart, so hopefully they will have that one in there today. Like I said, other than that though, not too much else releasing today as far as I know, at least it will be in stores. Also though, at the end of this video will be a whole bunch of brand new DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K reviews, some things I received to review and talk about for you guys, so definitely stay tuned for those at the end of this video. And as always too, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of the DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks that are reviewed. If you guys have seen them, what you guys thought of them. Also, if you guys plan on picking any of them up. But anyway though, guys, let's get going and see what we can find today. Into Walmart we go. Man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've been really looking around for fans, for box fans, and I don't see any. There's literally no fans, no other types of fans. I don't even know. I don't know how I'm going to handle it. There's no fans in here, none at all. So we'll head over to the section though and check out the new releases. And like I was saying though, the only really big new release that came out was The Invisible Man. And this one here on 4K is $27.96 for the 4K, $22.96 for the Blu-ray, and then $17.96 for the DVD. This one though, I really like this one a lot. I talked about this in my video last Tuesday. This is from the director who also did the movie Upgrade, which another one, if you guys have never seen Upgrade, that one is definitely worth watching as well. But like I said, this is definitely one I would recommend you guys check out. And it is interesting though with this, like I was saying, talking about this last Tuesday, because they didn't have Onward out last Tuesday, and I was talking about how a lot of the releases are not having slipcovers, and as you see, even when you get these online right now, they don't have the slipcovers on a lot of the certain releases, like some of the Disney ones, like the Call of the Wild. That one didn't have a slipcover as well. But what I really wonder about is if down the line, if a couple months from now, if other versions of this will have the slipcovers or not. That's one thing I'm really wondering about, is if they will later have slipcovers on these releases. Like for example, if we saw these on Black Friday, if then they would have them. I did end up getting a copy of this though. I bought one online because, like I said, I didn't see one in here last week. Other than that though, Sonic, that was last week. But then looking over here, the only other thing new that I see over here, well, there's actually two things here. There's this one here called The Adventures of Rufus. Adventures of Rufus, the Fantastic Pet. This one here, which I don't know anything about this one. If you guys have seen this one though, let me know how this one was. But like I said, I don't know anything about this one. But that one is $9.96 for that. But then the one here is the one that I was going to get here, this one called True Fiction. I was reading about this one. This one sounds kind of interesting. The one thing said something sort of like more like a Team I Spit on Your Grave kind of vibe or something like that to this one. But it looked relatively interesting though, so I'm definitely going to get this one. This one is $12.96 for that one. Other than that though, over here, Trolls, this one season 5 through 8, this was last Tuesday. I don't see anything else over here. We'll check in the actual section though to see if there's anything else new over here. This is usually where all the 4Ks are. I don't see anything new 4K wise. One of the 4Ks that did come out today was Deer Hunter, and I don't know if that one will be in any stores or not. That's coming out from Shout Factory. Over here though, this actual section over here should be getting changed out next Tuesday when they get in a whole bunch of new things. But every so often you got to check, because sometimes they mix things in here, some new things as well. So I'm just seeing if there's anything else different in here. There's definitely a lot of empty spaces in here though, in some of these spots. But let's see, usually around here is where some of the other new things are. Like, let's see, Zombies 2, that was last week. Yeah, most of these ones were all last week and then a couple weeks before. Yeah, it doesn't look like, as far as I can tell, that there's anything else different over here that I'm missing. Like I said, you always got to really check well to make sure nothing gets mixed in or anything like that. But yeah, it doesn't seem to me like anything else different here as far as I can tell over here. And then let's see, this is kind of an interesting one. This is definitely a new, like a repackaged edition here of Nutty Professor. And when did this one release? Was this 2020. So yes, this is a new edition here of these ones on DVD if you guys don't have them already. I kind of like that cover here. on this one, and both of them on here, so that's kind of cool. So it looks like Shout Factory released this one on DVD, this new edition of that, so that's actually kind of cool. There is a Blu-ray of that, so I have these ones already on Blu-ray, but I don't know, I like the cover on that one. Like I said though, let's see if there's anything else, because I haven't really checked over here for anything new in a while. Like there's definitely some new like editions of things repackaged, like this one of Explorers with Small Soldiers, which I've never seen this one before. I heard somebody mentioning though about Explorers coming out sometime, they thought down the line, from like Shout Factory or something. I would love if that one came to Blu-ray. That's one of those movies I watched so many times as a kid. It was like one of my top like watched movies as a kid. To see if there's anything else different in here. There's like a Kid and Play one here. And this is kind of interesting with Class Act, because wasn't this available as like a burn-on-demand release? And then is this like a new one? So 2017. Yeah, I think that Class Act was like a burn-on-demand title at one point. You know, Kid and Play one was, I believe so. So I don't know if this might be the only time it's ever been like a press disc. You know, like if you guys know what I mean, like with Warner Archive, their manufacturer-on-demand releases. I'll have to look this one up. I don't know if I have like one that's not a burn-on-demand of Class Act, so I might get this one if this one is cheap. Yeah, like I said, you always got to check in here. So here's where the Clumps one is, the Night Professor collection. So that's $5 for that one. Other than that in here, let's just see if there's anything else different here I'm noticing. Doesn't look like anything else that different as far as I can tell here. Yeah, it seems to be all relatively the same things, except for this set here and then the Night Professor one. Yeah, so in there though, I ended up picking up the True Fiction one. Like I said, this one sounded pretty interesting. If you guys have seen this though, let me know how this one was. And I also ended up getting the double feature though that had Class Act and Baps, and I really like Baps a lot as well. I have not seen that movie in years and years. But when I was looking up this, I'm pretty sure I only have that burn-on-demand release. Like I said, I don't believe I have one that isn't a burn-on-demand one. And this one was only $5. So, and I, you know, like I said, Class Act though, I have watched that movie so many times. I always love movies too that take place or have scenes in wax museums. For some reason, I always love wax museum settings. But now though, we'll head back home though to check the computer for Target's weekly ad. But taking a look here on Target's website, the only thing that they're promoting this week on the weekly ad that's a new release-wise, movie-wise, is The Invisible Man. And on that one, though, when you click this to see more, it shows that the Blu-ray DVD combo, that one is $22.99, and then it is $17.99 for the DVD version of the film. But like I was saying, other than that, though, that looks to be the only new stuff film-wise that they're, you know, having this week in Target. So now let's head to the computer and check on Best Buy's website for their weekly ad for the new releases this week. But taking a look on Best Buy's website for their weekly ad, the big thing that they're promoting as well is Invisible Man. And the 4K edition of that one is $27.99. The Blu-ray is $22.99. Also this one, the Rising of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hero Season 1 Part 2, that released today, and that was $39.99, as well as the Deer Hunter on 4K. And I believe those ones should all be available in stores. Let's see if it shows the Deer Hunter is available in stores. It shows online, it says sold out, but it doesn't actually, it just says sold out, so I don't know if this one will be available in any stores or not for store pickup. Because that's the one thing when you see the full list, some things are available in stores, other things are online only for shipping and that kind of stuff. But also though, Ultraman Ace, the complete series on Steelbook, that released today as well from Mill Creek, and that one is $24.99. And usually I've seen those in stores, or so that one you should be able to get for store pickup. But other than that though, like I said, the main big release today though was Invisible Man. Into the KFC drive-thru we go.
Thank you for choosing KFC. How can I help you?
Hi, so I need to just get 6 breasts original, please.
Okay.
And that was everything.
Alright, I will check you out the window. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Into the Burger King drive-thru we go.
Hi, can I help you?
Hi, so I need to get 1 double cheeseburger plain, please.
Okay.
And then an order of chicken fries.
Okay.
And then 1 large fry and 1 small onion ring.
Okay, what else can I offer you?
And then 1 of the Hershey's Sundae pie.
Okay.
And then 2 sweet and sour sauce and 1 honey mustard, please.
Okay, anything else?
And that was everything.
Okay, your total is gonna be $16.86, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
That voice went from it was like the woman, and then all of a sudden it was the guy like finishing off the order. It was kind of funny how it did that. And I always almost forget that Sunday pie. I didn't forget it today though. I was being real careful not to forget it though. Into Tony's Fresh Mexican we go. Well, the drive-thru.
Order?
Hi, so I need to just get a burrito with just eggs, potatoes, and cheese.
Anything else?
And that was everything.
Alright, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Into the Panda Express drive-thru we go.
Thank you for choosing Panda. What would you like from our limited menu?
Hi, I just need 2 medium side orders of the fried rice, please.
Okay, you don't want the largest or only $1 more?
No, thank you.
Okay.
And then 2 orders of the veggie spring rolls, please.
Okay.
And then I just need 3 of the sweet and sour sauces.
3 of the sweet sour sauce?
Yes, please. And then some soy sauce, please.
And some sweat sauce, okay?
Soy sauce. And that was everything.
Alright, how's everything coming up on the screen?
That looks right.
Would you like to make a small donation to help fight COVID-19?
Yeah, you can round up to 12.
Thank you so much. If everything is correct on the screen, I'll have your total ready for you for next window.
Okay, thank you. So anyway though guys, that was all for my DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. Like I always say, if you guys enjoy these shopping videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Also, let me know in the comments below, what you guys picked up today on DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K, if you guys ended up picking up anything new. Also, let me know as well, anything new you guys have been checking out on streaming, or anything you guys have watched on TV, or any of that kind of stuff. Most recently though, when it comes to what I watched on streaming, I did watch the movie Lovebirds, which is from the same director who did Big Sick, and I thought it was a fun movie. I didn't absolutely love the film, but I did think it was fun. It was just basically though about a couple who they were in the in the car together getting ready to go to a date, and they basically, after being together for a number of years, have decided they want to break up, and right then they end up hitting someone with their car, and the guy survives and is fine, but then this guy, he's like a cop, is like, oh, I need to stop that guy's bad. So then he chases after them in their car, and then he runs over the guy and kills him and then disappears. And it's basically about both of them trying to figure out how to clear their name and figure out who that guy was that ran the guy over who said he was a cop. And it's a whole big crazy thing. So it's them pretty much trying to clear their name. But I actually thought that was a fun movie. If you guys have seen Lovesick though, let me know what you guys thought of that one. Also as well, let me know what you guys thought of the DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks that I reviewed at the end of this video. If you guys have seen them, what you guys thought of them. Also, if you guys plan on picking any of them up. But anyway though guys, now stay tuned for the brand new reviews. Now before I get to the reviews, I have to show Lulu the chicken. I would have my dad show her, but he's not home at the moment. So Lulu, hey Lulu, I got you some chicken. I got you some new KFC chicken. Hopefully there's some good chicken today. Check it out, Lulu. Wait, see, Lulu doesn't like looking at this stuff as much when my dad's not home. But yeah, Lulu, I got you some fresh KFC. But don't worry, your father will be home soon. Don't worry, and then he'll show you the KFC as well when he gets back. But you got some fresh KFC, Lulu. Some fresh KFC chicken for you later, Lulu. But now over to now for the reviews. And the first one I got here is from Universal, and this is one when I heard this was releasing to 4K, I was so excited. I absolutely love this movie. This is a movie that I have watched so many times throughout the years. It's also making me really look forward to future Universal catalog releases, because I believe they talked about releasing sometime this year. I don't think there's a date yet, so I'm not sure if it's certain, but the Back to the Future trilogy on 4K, and those are ones that I cannot wait for. But this here is the 45th anniversary limited edition here of Jaws on 4K, and this has the really cool lenticular cover on this one. This has the 4K, the Blu-ray, and the digital code of the film. Now this is a film, if you guys have never seen this one, this is an absolute must-watch. It's directed by Steven Spielberg, and it's like one of his earliest films. I think he did Duel right before this one, I believe. I'm pretty sure that was the order of the films. I think so. I'm not 100% certain, but I think Duel was one of the ones that was like right before this, a little bit before this film. And basically though, this is about a small, coastal community, and it's kind of like the whole community really relies all full on the summer season because people come there to go to the beach, and that's kind of all, you know, the income comes in from people who are the tourists and everything. And beginning of the movie, though, this woman who goes out swimming at night gets killed and attacked by a shark, and essentially they find her body, and the sheriff in the town is going to investigate the whole thing, and he's like looking into it and really thinking it seems like just not an average shark, that it seems like it might be a great white out there. But the mayor, though, when he hears about all this, he's like, oh, well, we can't talk about anything like that, and this is just an isolated incident, this isn't going to happen again, and we can't close the beaches must stay open, we have the big events coming up and all these kind of things, and the summer season, everyone's coming in, and basically will not let them close the beaches. And of course, though, Roy Scheider's character, who is the sheriff, he starts to kind of look into the thing and discovering more about it. And it's essentially him trying to figure out how to stop and kill this great white, because they end up hiring someone to come in and help them. And then, like Richard Dreyfuss's character, he comes in as like an expert on sharks and everything on the team of trying to stop this shark. It's an absolute must-watch movie. On here too, the 4K wise, this is, like I said, if you guys have never seen this movie, to see it on 4K for the first time is definitely the way to see it. The picture quality on here, they did such a great job cleaning up the movie. And the big thing too is with 4K is the HDR, which is all, basically the contrast levels, which means it has much more levels of contrast to the colors and everything. Also, it's much more brighter and vibrant, picture quality all around. That's the one thing that I always notice with 4K. On here, though, it has all the archival features on here. It has like the 3-hour documentary on here. The shark is still working. It has deleted scenes. It has the thing on here for the making of, the shark still working is the making of. It has the Jaws the Restoration on here, original theatrical trailer, and also inside as well, it has a booklet which has some stuff about the production of the film. It has like poster artwork in here. It has some of the lines from the script is in here. It also talks about the cast. On here it has talking about the shark, which was called Bruce, which they always had problems with on set. Storyboards, stuff about Richard Dreyfuss and the cast and the director. So lots and lots of stuff in this booklet as well. So a really, really cool release here of Jaws. Like I said, this is the 45th anniversary limited edition, on 4K. The next one here is from Warner Brothers. They sent our free copy. This one to let you guys know this one is available. This is the movie here which stars Ben Affleck called The Way Back. And this one is basically, though, about Ben Affleck's character who, when he was in high school, he was kind of like the basketball star. He kind of like was great on the team. He had like all these kind of big hopes for his future in that field and everything. But then he ended up not doing anything with it. And this is him years later. And now his character, though, his character has problems with alcohol. He's basically would go through like case after case of beer and night, and he just has so many different alcohol problems and drinking problems and everything, substance abuse problems with drinking. And he ends up getting a call, though, from the person who was at the head of the school where he went when he was in high school, and he basically calls Ben Affleck's character in for a meeting and says, listen, the head coach has to leave, he's going through some stuff, and we want you to come on and be the new head coach to coach the team. And it's basically, though, about Ben Affleck's character finding, it's kind of his big chance again to kind of get back into what he did like, which was coaching and playing the game. And well, he never did coaching before, but he was really well in the team and everything, and that was like a big hopes for his future with that field, but nothing, he didn't end up pursuing that. So it's kind of his chance to come back and be back in this field again and coach these kids and help them and help to hope that the team gets better, because they start off and they aren't the greatest team and everything. That's basically what it is his character trying to kind of go and have a second chance at the game again. But it was a really, really well acted character piece here, and has on here, though, some featurettes on the movie as well, talking about the character and the characters in the film and everything on this one as well. The next one here is from Paramount, and this is also from CBS, and this is Star Trek, short treks. And this is basically, though, it's a bunch of different shorts on here. It's kind of go into certain characters that were in the show Star Trek Discovery, and it's basically like little short films, and it kind of goes to talks about side characters and certain kind of themes in the show, and it goes and explores them in their own shorts. And they're actually kind of interesting ones on here. Like there's one about an alien that gets stowaway stays onto the ship, and it's kind of like this invisible alien. There were some interesting ones. One of them was an animated one on here, and it also has on here making of short treks as well. So it has nearly an hour of special features on here, and 3 hours of the short treks on this one. So if you guys are a fan of Star Trek and also the Star Trek's newest series, definitely would recommend you guys check this out. Definitely, it's like an interesting way of exploring on certain characters and that kind of stuff. And the next one I got here is from Dreyfuss Entertainment. This is a movie which I had never seen before, which stars Robert Forster. It's a movie here called The Banker. This is actually a pretty cool movie about Robert Forster's character, who is this cop who is trying to track down this guy who was killing women, and he's using like a bow and arrow to kill them. And it's basically, though, he's trying to kind of get to the bottom of the whole thing and figure out exactly who this guy is. It's one of those movies, though, where you see the killer, so you know, like the audience knows, but he doesn't know who it is, but he's kind of going through the whole case of trying to figure out who the person is. And the movie kind of has vibes of stuff like Cobra and 10 to Midnight, and even a little bit of like Manhunter. It has like that kind of feel to it and everything. It has really great locations too where this one is shot. And there's a lot of like around this time, like I said, a lot of like police kind of crime films with that similar kind of vibe to it. But like I said, this one was actually really good, really great picture quality as well on this one from Dreyfuss Entertainment. This one here, though, has feature-wise, though, it has a interview on here with Robert Forster, has Remembering Joe, Maniac Spinelli, as well as trailers for other Dreyfuss releases as well. The next one's here from Vinegar Syndrome. This is the one I had never seen before, a vampire film called Pale Blood, and this is from 1990. This is an interesting movie. It's basically, though, about like a vampire who's not like a bad vampire. He's kind of like, he only takes the blood that he needs. Well, he's still not the greatest vampire, but he basically takes the blood that he needs, but he's not kind of all about killing and that kind of stuff. But basically, though, there is a person that is a vampire, or could be a vampire, or somebody that's kind of acting like a vampire who's going around and killing people. And basically, this guy is going to try and stop and find this person who's doing this, because he's basically like, this is giving vampires a bad rep, that this guy is out there, with all these killings going on. He wants to figure out exactly who this is and stop this. It's basically, though, him going with this woman trying to track down and figure out exactly who is this guy and figure out where he is and exactly what's going on and everything. But this is actually a really, really cool movie. This one has on here, it's brand new, newly scanned and restored in 2K from its 35mm intro positive. It has on here, though, an interview on here with the director. It has an interview on here with actress Darcy Moss on this one as well. And the next one here is from Vinegar Syndrome as well, and this is a really cool box set collection here, and this really cool hardbound box set. And this is the Forgotten Giallo collection, volume 1 here of the collection. This has 3 different movies in here. It has Trauma, The Police Are Blundering in the Dark, and The Killer is One of 13. And here's a look, though, at the side, and I'll cover one thing in the back just so no one says anything. But like a really cool this design, but I love the box sets that Vinegar Syndrome puts together. Like I said, such cool boxes as well, some super hardbound cases. And also when you open this up, I love the way this design of the blood dripping down around the sides and everything. And basically, though, this has 3 different movies in here. The first one in here is The Killer is One of 13. This is basically kind of like a Clue kind of movie about a group of people who are coming together because they're all invited to this house. And basically, though, the woman, though, who's throwing this party, or getting these people together, is basically convinced, though, that one of these people that she's invited is responsible for her husband's death, and it's kind of her to get to the bottom of it. But of course, when they're there, these people are getting killed off, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like a whodunit, who is involved in this whole thing. This has on here, it's newly scanned and restored in 2K from its original 35mm negative. Picture quality on all 3 of the films here looks great, though. Vinegar Syndrome, though, always does such an amazing job in their transfers and cleaning up the films. It also has on here original Spanish language audio with newly translated English subtitles. It has a historical commentary on here with author and editor-in-chief of Diabolic magazine, Kat Ellinger, as well as a promotional image gallery. This one here is called, and I'll cover one thing up on here, but this is called The Police Are Blundering in the Dark. And this is basically, though, about a woman, models who are getting killed, and it's basically, though, about, the one model that gets killed, her boyfriend, he kind of goes and takes the reign of wanting to get to the bottom of who is this killer and tracking down the killer. And it's kind of like, him trying to figure out the whole thing. But this one was really, really good. This one has on here is newly restored in 2K from its original
original 35mm negative. Has original Italian language audio on here. It has a historical audio essay with film historian and critic Rachel Nisbet, as well as a promotional image gallery. And the last one here is one called Trauma. And this is basically about an author who's going to, to work on his new book, and he stays at this weird like bed and breakfast kind of house. And it's kind of like what's going on in here. It's a very very cool movie. This one here is newly scanned and restored in 2K from its original 35mm negative. This has the original Spanish language audio in here with newly translated English subtitles. This has an historical commentary track with European cult cinema author Troy Herworth, as well as a promotional image gallery on this one. But like I said, a really cool collection. If you guys are a fan of Giallo films, this is one I would definitely recommend you guys pick up for sure. And like I said, a really cool collection. The next one here is from Epic Pictures. This is a movie here called Torpedo U-235. This is basically though about like during World War II, these resistance fighters who are piloting the submarine basically they need to get this uranium stuff away from like the Germans, and it's basically they're trying to get it away, but it's like because they took the sub, and they're having to basically try and figure out how to pilot this sub, and they don't exactly know what they're doing, and it's kind of them learning the whole thing at the same time the German soldiers are coming after them. This is a really well shot, super tense film here. Like I said, and on here though, it has a making of Torpedo. It has original language audio version. It has the English dub version. It has the foreign language trailer, the US trailer, as well as a production teaser on this one. But like I said, if you guys are a fan of like war films, also the deal with submarines, like I said, it's really well shot, like a really big filling film. But I really thought this one was actually really well done. Like I said, this one is called Torpedo U-235. The next ones here are all from moviezing.com, and I have a link below where you guys can order these ones for the best price. This is also from Frolic Pictures, and this is a really cool to have this one finally available on a physical format. And this is the one here called double feature, which has Purple People Eater and Lucky 7. Now, Purple People Eater was a movie though. As a kid, I remember renting that one all the time at Blockbuster. It's a really fun movie about this kid who ends up singing the Purple People Eater song, and then like this Purple People Eater kind of creature comes to life. And it's basically like the creature is kind of helping him, and like these people like with something like kind of helps them out basically. And essentially though, it kind of reminds me of like I like it too because it reminds me of the My Pet Monster live action one a little bit. It has that same kind of vibe to this one, and the way this is done is like a grindhouse style, where it has like little shorts at the beginning, it has trailers, it has all kind of stuff like that, but and then between the movies and stuff like that. So it's really cool the way this is all put together and stuff like that, because it's like I said, it's a double feature done kind of grindhouse style. The next one here is from Level 33 Entertainment. This is a movie called Murder RX. This is basically though about a mother who ends up moving to this small town with her daughter because, basically her daughter is having a lot of problems in school. She's kind of hanging around with a bad group of kids and kind of like drinking and getting into this bad stuff and everything. And she's 18, but the mother is really worried that it's going to mess up, her for college and the future and everything because she's making all these bad decisions and everything. And she ends up moving to this new town, and, the mother is going to work for this pharmaceutical, like for this doctor. But basically in the beginning of this movie, you see somebody like overdosing from certain kind of medicine, and like you kind of come to realize though that this town is having a lot of problems with pills and prescriptions and stuff like that, and overuse of these things, and people are dying. And the woman, when she gets there with her daughter, she's kind of realizing that she thinks that the guy that she's working for, this doctor, may be to blame for all of this. And then at the same time, her daughter now is starting to get into with this group of these kind of like the kind of popular kids there, and like they of course are like getting access to these pills and everything, and it's kind of like a whole nother bad direction the daughter is going down, and the mother is basically trying to figure out exactly what to do. And is this really happening? Is her who she works for involved in all this and everything? But this is actually a really well done, tense film. Naomi Grossman is in the film playing the doctor's wife in this movie. I actually thought this was actually really well done. The next one here is from Moviezing as well, and this is also from RLJ Entertainment. This is a movie called Kill Mode. This movie is kind of like Equilibrium, I think was what it was, or the one with Matt Damon a little bit. Was it called I can't remember the name for sure, but it kind of reminded me of that, mixed with like the vibe of stuff like Chappie and District 9. It had like that kind of vibe. Also, even vibes of like Divergent and those kind of films. This is basically though set in the future, and it's like a bacteria thing in the world is like infected people, and basically they have this kind of thing that cures them. They have to continuously take this type of medicine, and they're kind of saying though that they believe that the company, the pharmacist company or whatever it is that made this type of serum they believe is actually behind this, could be behind this, and it's kind of like this whole big thing about them putting this out there to get people sick, so they have to take this to kind of make their stuff a success. And basically this is about a group of people who are trying to fight this whole thing, kind of get to the bottom of it. And it's a guy who gets brought in and, you know, to go to the place and kind of try and expose it. At the same time though, his daughter in the beginning of the movie though was kidnapped, and he thought that she had died and was gone for years, and it's basically they come to find out that she's like trapped in there, and they want to rescue her in this kind of facility. And it's kind of like also there's like a reason that she's there as well. This was actually really, really well done. Like I said, this movie here is called Kill Mode. The next one here is from Movie Zing as well, and this is also from Freestyle. Releasing it's an anthology movie here called The Source of the Shadows. This is basically though, this is a horror anthology that depicts 10 tales of horror from 12 visionary directors as they take us on a journey to experience one of humanity's most carnal fears, the fear of the unknown. But it's basically though all kind of segments about like the fear of like not knowing, you know, what's out there and stuff. Like one of the segments is someone who's blind who's going out there, kind of like a Quiet Place kind of segment a little bit. Like that kind of vibe, but he's blind. He's kind of going out there, and then, you know, his rope that he uses to get back to his house gets cut or gets caught on something, so then he has to try and figure out how to get his way back. But there's a bunch of really, really great segments on this one. But if you guys like horror anthology films, I would definitely recommend you guys check this out. And this one here is called The Source of Shadows. And the next one here is from MovieZing.com as well, and this is also from a company called True Found, and it's a movie called Athens County Massacre. And this is basically, though, it's a found footage film about like this, you know, an alien type thing that's going on out in these woods, like these alien encounters. And it's basically, though, you know, about these hikers that have gone missing, and it's kind of like done, you know, like I said, found footage style by a documentarian who's kind of trying to put together to get to the bottom of what exactly is going on out in these woods, and he's talking to people, you know, who have had encounters out there about these aliens or what exactly it is that's out there, trying to basically get to the bottom of, is there something really going on out there, or was this just hikers that went missing and it had nothing to do with an alien type thing, or is there really something out there? And it's basically, you know, like I said, with interviews with people in the town, talking to people who have seen things, and then, you know, trying to get to the bottom of if, you know, he can find, you know, who the people, you know, where the people are that, you know, had gone missing, and, you know, what had happened to them. The other one here is from True Found as well. This is a movie here called the Gocher, I believe that's how you say it. The Gocher, I think. And this one is basically, though, about these people who work for like the government. They work for like a government type group. I think it was like some kind of a contracted group or something, and basically they intersect this signal from someone telling them about this legend and stuff like that, and telling them like kind of these inside facts. It's kind of like a computer screen, kind of like a Max Headroom kind of thing, telling them about stuff. And basically, though, they're kind of looking at cases about these legends that have happened out in the woods, and these kind of the person on the computer is kind of showing them footage and letting them see stuff and saying, well, this is out there, and you got to figure out this, and this, you know, you don't know about this, this is going on. And that's basically what it is. It's kind of like them kind of getting knowledge about things that are out there, and you're seeing like case files that were like secret, hidden away case files of things that have happened out there. Like I said, this one here is called The Gocher. And the last one here is from Uncorked Entertainment. This one, the director, Tommy Faircloth, sent a copy of this one for me to check out, and this is one I was really looking forward to watching. This one stars Felissa Rose, and it's a movie here called A Nun's Curse. This is basically, though, about a group of these friends who are going out because the one's sister, she wants to take like pictures of this old ruins of this church, and basically, though, like it kind of like bad stuff had happened out there because like something had happened at the church, but it was basically like a nun who was going to, played by Felissa Rose's character, who was going to like this jail nearby to kind of like help people and kind of talk to the prisoners and all that kind of stuff. But basically, she cracked up and was like killing people and all these kind of things, and you know, the one girl there, you know, is telling her sister about all this, and she's like, oh well, you know, the prison is really nearby, and I really would like to go there. And they're like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. We don't have the time for that. And of course, though, then when they go to leave, the keys have gone missing, and they're like, well, it's going to get dark. What are we going to do? We can't stay out here. There's the ruins of this church. There's nothing here. There's no roof. We should go and find the church, find the jail and stay there for the night. And of course, they go there, and it's basically, though, not a good thing. And then the one girl, though, who wanted to see this jail, she starts like seeing visions of this nun and seeing things, and of course, then the nun is coming for them. I actually really like this one. The one main actor in here, he kind of reminded me of Eric Warheim from Tim and Eric. He kind of almost like if Eric Warheim like had like a younger brother or like a son. Like, I don't know. I feel like both of them should definitely be together in a movie, because they look like very, very similar to each other. I thought he was great, though. Like, he was definitely the scene stealer in the movie. Like, I love that actor in this one. On here, though, this has behind the scenes as well as a blooper reel on this one. Anyway, though, guys, that was all for the review portion of this video. Thanks again for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you guys later.